March took the high seat upon the stone and waved the club over the fire. The fire blazed up, the snow began to melt, the trees began to bud, and the ground was at once covered with grass. It was springtime. The violets began to bloom among their little leaves. And before Marukala had time to think, so many of them had sprung up that they looked like a blue cloth spread out on the ground. Springtime means weather becomes warmer, leaves and plants start to grow again, and flowers appear. Sprung up means to start to exist suddenly. So we say that when this man March takes up the high seat and he waves the club over fire, the season changes to spring and the flower violets began to bloom. Now pick them quickly, Marukala, commanded March. Marukala picked them joyfully till she had a big bunch. Then she thanked the months with all her heart and scampered merrily home. Helena and the stepmother wondered when they saw Marukala bringing the violets. They opened the door to her, and the scent of violets filled all the cottage. "Where did you get them?" asked Helena sulkily. Commanded means given order. Scampered means moved quickly with small light steps. Wondered means feel curious. Sulkily means in a bad-tempered way. Now in this passage, children, we see that March commands Marukala to pick up the flowers. Marukala quickly picks up a big bunch and then, thanking the months, she goes back home. Now Helena and her stepmother, they are wondering or are curious that how and where did Marukala find the violets. They are growing under the bushes in a forest on the high mountains. Helena snatched all the flowers and did not give even a single one to her sister. The next day she called to her sister and said, "Go, Marukala, and get me some strawberries from the forest." "Alas, dear sister, where could I find any strawberries in this hard winter?" said Marukala. "How dare you argue? Go at once and get me the strawberries, or I'll kill you." The stepmother caught hold of Marukala and pushed her out of the door and shut it after her. Marukala went to the forest weeping bitterly. The snow was lying deep, and there wasn't a human footprint to be seen anywhere. She wandered about for a long time, tortured by hunger and trembling with cold. At last she saw the light she had seen the other day. Overjoyed, she went towards it. She came to the great fire with the 12 months sitting round it. "Please, kind sirs, let me warm my hands at the fire." Great January nodded and asked, "Why have you come again, and what are you looking for?" Snatched means quickly take something in a rude or eager way. Overjoyed means extremely happy. So Helena and her mother, they asked Marukala, "From where did you get the flowers?" And Marukala does not tell them that it was the 12 months who helped her. Instead, she says that she found them growing under some bushes in the forest. So having failed in their plan to get rid of Marukala, the next day again her sister Helena tries to get rid of her by sending her to bring strawberries. Marukala again, she tries to argue or to stop her sister, and she tells her that how is it possible to get strawberries in winter. And once again Helena threatens Marukala. Her stepmother forces her out of the house. Marukala, weeping, crying bitterly, she once again goes in search of strawberries in the forest. She sees the light that she saw the other day. She is very happy and she goes towards the light where she finds the 12 months sitting around it. She again politely she requests the months. She's asking them, "Can I warm my hands at the fire?" Great January nods and he says that, "Why have you come again? And what are you looking for?" "I am looking for strawberries. My sister Helena and my stepmother bade me bring some strawberries, and if I don't, they will kill me. Tell me, fathers, tell me please, where I can find them." Great January arose. He went over to the month sitting opposite him. It was June, and handed the club to him, saying, "Brother, take the high seat." June took the high seat upon the stone and swung the club over the fire. The fire shot up, and its heat melted the snow in a moment. The ground was all green. The trees were covered with leaves. The birds began to sing, and the forest was filled with all kinds of flowers. It was summer. The ground under the bushes was covered with white starlets. The starry blossoms were turning into strawberries every minute. They ripened at once, and before Marukala had time to think, there were so many of them that it looked as though a red carpet had been spread on the ground. "Pick them at once, Marukala," commanded June. Bade means ordered. Swung, moved back and forth or from side to side. Starlets, small stars. Ripened, become ripe. So, Marukala tells Great January that Helena and her stepmother had ordered her to bring strawberries. So January goes to June and he tells him to take the high seat. When June swings his club, the weather changes. The weather turns to summer, and we see that strawberries start to ripen. And June commands Marukala to pick the strawberries at once. Marukala picked them joyfully till she had filled her apron full. Then she thanked the months with all her heart and scampered merrily home. Helena and the stepmother wondered when they saw Marukala bringing the strawberries. Her apron was full of them. "Where did you pick them?" asked Helena sulkily. "There are plenty of them growing in the forest on the high mountains." Apron means a protective garment worn over the front of one's clothes and tied at the back. Now, strawberries that had ripened after June swung his club, Marukala picks them up joyfully. She thanks the months and she goes back home. Once again, Helena and the stepmother are curious. And Helena asks Marukala, "Where did you pick them?" Marukala again does not reveal that it was the 12 months who helped her. She tells them that plenty of them are growing in the forest on the high mountains.